And we'll get into questions.
We're just really happy for our team, fighting all year and having a chance to not check scores and just take care of business, win a couple games this weekend. And, obviously we knew tonight that if Tennessee lost a game, that if we won one more, we win it. And it was a great game, really was. It started out, it looked like it was going to get a little bit crazy. They got a big 2-out hit in the first and took the lead, and got to give credit to Bolden, though. He really settled in and gave us a couple, I think that's 4 innings, and held down a pretty good lineup, a powerful lineup. And just what a great job by our bullpen. Threw up a lot of zeros there, I guess, all the way from the 3rd through the 9th, and gave us a chance to get back in it. But what can you say about, Robert Moore, 2 out, 2 strike, foul ball, then he hits a home run and ties it up. And our plan was if we got tied there, the inning before, if we took the lead, we're going to bring Kevin in for the 8th. But when we got to the bottom of the 9th, to the top of the 9th, if we would just tie it, we were going to bring him in, and we did score that run in the 8th. And so that's why we brought Kevin in. And then obviously Opitz put a great swing on a low fastball, and he just hammered it, and it shot to the gap, and center fielder slipped, and it gave him an extra base. And it was just a great finish to a really good run of SEC weekends, and just really proud of the team.
Hutch?
Yeah, Dave, could you go into the decision to pinch hit with Welch there, and also what did you think of his at bat?
I thought he had a great at bat. He took a couple pitches and got ahead 2-0, and then I think it went to 3-0. And honestly, I was saying I probably ought to just give him the green light, give him the hit sign. He looked at me, and I didn't give it to him. And then he threw a good strike. I don't know if it was down the middle or away, and I was kind of frustrated with myself for not letting him swing. And then he fouls off a pitch, and it goes to 3-2. And I didn't know if they were really going to go after him there. I thought they might come with a slider down and away, try to get him to chase, because they had a base open. Obviously, his run didn't meet a whole lot, and they threw a fastball down the middle away, and he didn't try to pull. He stayed on and hammered it at right center, obviously. And right when it left the bat, we knew the game was over. Just a great at bat.
And then also, what did you think of the job Monk did after coming in when he did and settling and giving, I think, 3 innings?
He did a great job. Honestly, we were going to send him back out possibly until we scored, but he came and he told us he was kind of done. And, 3 innings for him is probably about what he does, 40 pitches, and he was really good while he was out there. And I know we struck out a lot of their guys the second half of that game, and that's always good on a wet field and late at night like that, because it's hard to field and ball slips. And but he was as good as he's been.
Nate?
Yeah, Dave, any early diagnosis on Collette and just his injury and what?
Yeah, we don't know yet. At first it didn't look real good. We feel a little bit better about it now since it's been looked at just a little bit, but we won't know anything until probably Monday. Get it looked at, maybe tomorrow. We'll see how quick we can get him in to get an MRI or whatever we need. But I think it's feeling a little bit better from what I was just told a little while ago.
And just following up on Monk, just to be thrown in, with really no preparation, just on that aspect, what do you feel about his performance?
You talking about Monk?
Yeah, I mean, coming in with an injured, having to come in with an injury.
We did have him getting ready down there, so we were maybe a hitter or 2 away. Hopefully, we were going to get through that inning and then start him up the next inning, but obviously that didn't happen. So he was already, getting ready. He was on the mound, starting to throw, but obviously we didn't think we were going to have to bring him in that quick. So good for him. He came in, it didn't phase him, and he came in throwing strikes.
And finally, winning your first overall SEC title, where you won it all without sharing it with anybody.
Yeah, it's great. They're really hard to get. So many things have to happen over a 30-game season to have that opportunity. And we've just played really well every weekend. Some better than others, but always just enough. And mean, we put together some really good ball games to clinch series. And, I even told the coaches a minute ago, I said, you remember the very first SEC game of the year this year? I think we got beat 16-2. And, that one got away from us, but we didn't let it phase us. And just excited for everybody involved with the baseball program right now.
Thank you.
Andrew Ellis.
Hey, Coach, Goodhart was having a little bit of some struggles over the last few games, and there in Leftwich's first inning, he really made him work and ended up getting a base hit. It didn't result in a run, but how good was it to see him come through there? And you think that's something that could maybe get him going a little bit?
Yeah, that was a really big at bat because, we all know how good Leftwich is. I mean, he's a big time pro prospect, and just the way he got out our first two hitters that inning, I think. And then, Goodhart just fought him in 7-8 pitches. And then he finally decided to try to go with a breaking ball. He left it up and he singled up the middle. That was a big time at bat. Really good to see. And I was happy for Matt because he was really frustrated. I haven't seen him that frustrated in a long time.
And just going back to Welch, have you ever had a weapon like that off the bench, a guy who's, not playing every day, but he's batting 400 and the sample size is getting pretty big? I mean, just what can you say about the work he's done and kind of embracing his role?
At this level, I guess it's rare to have a guy like that because you're going to play him all the time. Charlie's a guy that, he's a catcher. He's trying to play a little first. He's a hitter is what he is. And, Goodhart's been our DH, and, Charlie's gotten in. Whenever he gets in, he seems to get a couple of hits. And face left-handed pitching early in the season, he seemed like he hit a home run about every other bat against him. And but I'd say no, because usually if you have a guy that hits like that and not playing all the time, he's probably upset. And Charlie's been a really good teammate. Really proud of him the way he's taken it, and he's happy to be a part of this team and contribute.
And also the Robert Moore home run. I mean, he was another guy that, was kind of struggling a little bit, but, that one got out, pretty easily. What'd you see on that one?
I see that I think he kind of shocked him when he hit it. I mean, he was down 1-2 before he knew it, fouled off a pitch or two, took a pitch, and then bang, I think he hit a cutter. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a true fastball, kind of down the middle in, and he clubbed it. And we knew Robert left the bat. The game was tied. And, Robert's done a tremendous job of coming through in the clutch for us this year, and I don't know, just a big time swing from a guy that wants to be in the middle of it.
Tom.
I think we have this calculated as your 12th win when you trailed by 3 or more runs. Just maybe how appropriate was it that this is the same kind of way you've been winning games all year?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we're behind a lot, maybe 75% of the time. The other team seems to score first. It doesn't seem to phase us too much. You've got to have some good bullpen guys that to hold them down and give us a chance to work our way back in if it doesn't go good. And obviously the bullpen saved us again today. But really Bolden did a nice job getting us to the 5th inning, and then we turned it over to the pen and they did it.
It's after midnight. I'm wondering how you might celebrate this one tonight, and then who you might start as your pitcher tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna celebrate this one by going home and going to bed, and then my pitcher tomorrow that'll start will be Wiggins. And you might see a few different guys in the lineup as well.
Thanks.
Bob.
Dave, I guess you and Vandy from 2013 or something like that are the only SEC teams to win go 10-0 in series. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's very hard to do. It's only been done a couple of times since the league has grown, and you don't expect it. You just expect that maybe one weekend's not going to go your way. We always talk to our guys in the fall about league play and how tough it is. And, the new guys, they probably don't believe it until they see it. Older guys try to tell them that it's a grind and it's hard to win. And we always tell them, hey, if you're having a bad weekend, don't get swept. If you have a chance to sweep, find a way to win that third game, because it's really hard to do, and win every series you can when you get the opportunity. And I think our guys, they did a great job this year, obviously, one more game and we can move on to the tournament, but what an accomplishment by this team.
Does Cops get tomorrow off?
Yeah, he may get more than tomorrow off, so we'll discuss that later.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Congrats.
Matt,
Hey, it had been 17 years since your last SEC championship. You won a few in your early years of your career. Does the time between championships give you a different perspective on this one?
Well, the championships have really just been our division. We've won that 3 years in a row now. But winning the overall, I mean, we tied with Georgia in 2004. That's when there were 12 teams in the league. We were picked 11th overall. We were picked 6th in the West. And all we did was find a way to win every weekend. This team reminds me of that team a little bit. This team's probably a little bit more talented, obviously, but it's got the same grit and they just kind of show up and get it done. But yeah, the perspective would be that it's really hard. And if you look around, it's pretty spread out. Florida got them a few and Vandy got them a few, but other than that, it's been spread out pretty good because the league is so good.
I saw after you shook hands with Sully, you turned around, took your hat off, tipped it to the crowd. What was going through your mind at that moment?
Just thanking him for showing up and being loud. I mean, we hadn't experienced what we experienced tonight and last night, for really a couple of years. And it was fun. Even, Kevin O'Sullivan and I were talking before the game. He said, man, your crowd was awesome last night. And I said, yeah, that's the best it's been since 19. And I said, you're probably going to get more of it tonight and probably more. And they were.
And then you may have touched on this, and I'm sorry if you did, but to win a championship in the year of COVID and all the issues that have come along with that, I wonder how meaningful was that to you?
I think it's, I mean, they're all meaningful. I guess the thing that I think about every now and then is that maybe we got our group figured out earlier than some of the other teams. We got them going early. I mean, they right out of the chute, man, they were ready to go. In Arlington, Texas, it seemed like it was 3 weeks ago. I mean, I can't believe how long ago it was, but we got their attention, and the coaches did a great job of rounding these guys up, and the guys did a great job of really focusing in and taking every game really serious, and it just kept going.
Coach.
Dave, you said a couple of times how Bolden got settled in. What was going wrong early, and how was he able to right the ship there?
Just location. The big left-hander hitter that slapped one down the left field line. The ball was up and in. Give him credit. He got his hands inside the baseball. I mean, we even had the shift on him because he on the report, I don't know if he's ever hit a ball over there all year. And the first pitch base hit, the very next pitch was a slider, and it just spun right in the middle of the plate. And he smoked it in the 5-6 hole, and all of a sudden we're down 2 runs. And, just some mistakes ahead in the count or straight up in the count. And they did a nice job with it. But then he settled in and started throwing his fastball in, busting him in a little bit, and he got some quick outs. And, they got into one ball that the wind kept it in the park. And other than that, he did a nice job.
And was the plan kind of was the plan kind of all along to start Wiggins tomorrow, or did maybe winning tonight give you some freedom to give him a start?
The plan was to start Lockhart tomorrow. See, I gave you some good info there.
Randy, final question, please.
David, seemed like when Kevin came on that he wasn't as sharp, but then he hit the batter. He was called out on strikes. It seemed to energize Kevin.
It did, and that's good. That's exactly what we thought. It's like it got him going. It got him loose. I don't think he had quite enough time to get as ready as he would have or we would have really wanted him to. But we scored quick with 2 outs and 2 strikes, and we had to get him ready on like one hitter. So I think that got his blood pumping pretty good. And since that was the 3rd strike, that batter had 2 strikes, and when he stuck his elbow out there, that made it strike 3. That's a rule that kicked into gear not too long ago. But it was the right call. I know they were upset over there, but that's what we saw on our side. And then in the replay, I think it showed it as well.
Yeah, I don't think the next six straight pitches, they touched any of those balls. So I think they were all either swing and miss or check swing and misses.
Yeah, he really threw well after that.
One final question. Did you even contemplate when Opitz was at third to maybe go with the squeeze?
Well, the first baseman was standing about halfway up the first base line. And obviously, oh, I'd love to do it, but we're not a big squeezing team. We haven't done it once this year, maybe the last couple of years. We do safety squeezes a little bit, but when the infield's like that, next thing you know, you only got two outfielders. You got to just put the barrel on the ball somehow. And so I guess to answer your question, no.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Appreciate the time, Coach.
Okay. See you guys. Thank you.